Welcome guys to my new episode. Today is going to be the new episode regarding the series on the dropshipping business. And as you've seen the last time in the last video, we left that we basically concluded the video where we were supposed to be scaling the ads with the lookalike audiences. And as I'm gonna show you here on the screen, you will see that I've made some sales. I was able to scale the ad account properly. However, I did not conclude anything by scaling with the lookalike audiences, and that is for a very simple reason. The course I have been following was not very, you can say it was not very trustworthy. The guy I paid to eventually be my mentor just took my 800 euros and ran away, so he was a scammer. If you find this guy, if you find people asking for courses for money, just don't give them anything. You can find plenty online courses online on YouTube, just like this one, and you're gonna avoid spending and throwing money at the wrong people. So I really appreciate if you could just follow channels like this and just learn online, because the content is always the same and there is really no necessity and no need to go outside searching for different content on different value, because eventually they're the same thing that you're going to be learning here. So this video specifically is going to be to explain to you why the ad scaling. Obviously I'm at the same point where you may be, trying to show you what my path has been, what my mistakes have been, and what my results are, so that you may just avoid the same mistakes I did and potentially just try to have better results or the same results, or try to duplicate what I did. So the campaigns that I tried to make the lookalikes, simply I took the campaigns, I created the lookalikes as I showed you in the other video. And what ended up happening is it was not really optimized. The interests that I used were only 2, 3, or 4 different interests, and only one of them was actually profitable. And when I eventually tried to scale to the lookalike audiences, I didn't have enough data to be able to scale it, but I scaled it anyway because the course was telling me to do so. So I tried, and eventually it was just a waste of money. I wasted like $50 and I got a lot of engagement and I got no purchase. Do not commit the same mistake. Don't try to scale your advertisements until you have enough data collected. What do I mean by that? Well, you need to try to duplicate the assets that are currently working and try to modify some details, some dimensions inside the ad set or the ad creative. What does that actually mean? What are dimensions, you may ask? Well, dimensions can be very variant things. You can target different audiences, you can try to target different people, different countries, you can try to create new ads. You can try to attack a specific problem. So try to give a solution to your customers regarding a specific problem, or changing the image, changing the ad creative, the title, what is written on it. So trying to having different approaches to the same product may result in different results, basically. For example, just by trying 3, 4, 5 different interests, I was able to find just one that I thought was winning. But eventually, it's not like that is the only interest that is going to be winning in the long term, because I can always do better. And if I just stop and not keep looking for something new or something better, then eventually that is the best I'm gonna ever achieve. And honestly, with that specific interest, I was able only to break even. So I simply decided to restart over from new interests, and I found eventually one that was even more profitable. It was like a 4 ROI, another one was a 5 ROI. While the initial interest I thought was winning one had only a 2 ROI, for example. So what are you supposed to do in this case? You need to collect more data. That's very simple. And how can you collect more data? Well, first of all, you can start by targeting different countries. I spent a lot of money targeting countries that had poor quality, and I realized eventually later on when I tried to target different countries. For example, I was trying to target worldwide, And I saw that, for example, I had a lot of engagement from India, from Pakistan, from Bangladesh, and these countries. And so I thought, well, I'm having a lot of engagements, a lot of people clicking on it, a lot of likes, a lot of comments. That means that this must be a good audience. But eventually they were not converting well enough. They were just clicking on it because it's not like it's a poor audience, but it's not a quality audience. So try to change the country that you're targeting. Try to target maybe Europe, and then try to target USA, try to target worldwide. But you should also make different campaigns with different countries just to see which ones are performing well, so you can simply exclude them, or just take the existing ads that you've been running and you can make a breakdown by country, and so it will show you the engagement, the amount spent, and the ROI for each country that you have in the account that you try to target for each campaign. And so that is also a good feedback, because then you can see which countries are actually producing results and which one you're spending a lot of money, you have a lot of engagements, but are not actually converting as much. A second thing you should be looking at is obviously the audience. The audience, I mean the interests. On the interest, you can find specifically on the Facebook Ads Manager, there is a tool called Audience Insight. Inside the Audience Insight, you are able to find statistics regarding the audiences that you've used and similar audiences, meaning similar interests to the one that you've already used. You expand your ad account to a different set of, again, new audiences. Because once, for example, I'm trying to sell a book regarding finance or regarding business, right? And in my ad account, I try to target people that are interested in business. When I try to target people that are interested in business, I go to the Audience Insight and they tell me, well, usually people that try to target this type of interest usually have a lot of engagement that are related to this interest. For example, I don't know, Anthony Robbins, right? Because he's making books about business, so maybe they will say, hey, one interest that is very similar to the one you're currently using, and that is the winning one you're using, it's Tony Robbins. So you simply take Tony Robbins and you create a new audience with Tony Robbins. And you simply use all the audiences that Facebook is suggesting you. And if you see that any of these is actually a winning audience, then you take this winning interest and you simply search again in the Audience Insight regarding that specific interest, and you will find again similar interests. And you can target also all these new interests to see if there is any that is actually going to be a winning interest. And so you keep repeating this cycle. Another thing you can target are the ad creatives. This is specifically for the video and the images, meaning you have to address different problems. Now I was trying to use the same video on the advertisements. What you can do is simply create another video, another variations. Maybe it will last less, maybe it will have different banners with written something different. Or maybe it's trying to address a different problem. Like if I'm trying to sell something to eat, I can address the problem of health. Because if you eat my product, it may be like natural proteins. I can try to address the problem of eating healthy, then you should try to eat natural products, and that's why you should try this one. Maybe then I can create another advertisement that instead of targeting people that are interested in healthy products and healthy alimentation, I can say this can help you lose weight. So then I'm gonna target people that are trying to lose weight. Then I can target people that are going to gym, and I can say this is very highly proteic. So you can try to hit from different angles, different audiences. You try to create a new problem that your product solves, and in the advertisement you try to answer to that problem, and you can try to create different variations or different images. Another thing you can do for the ad variations is the text and the buttons, because obviously having a call to action that is buy now or shop now, it's different. So whatever is written on the button, and if you need the button or if you do not need the button, changes the engagement on that specific advertisement. Also, something that changes very much the way people will look at the ad and if they will click it or not is the text and the description that you have on the image or on the video. So try changing that one as well. Try to change the disposition, the emojis, or simply, again, what problem is it trying to solve. Also, another thing you can try to change is the preview, the image preview of the ad, because you're not really changing the ad. You're changing only what they see before they click on the video or on the image or on the ad, right? Then you can change also the budget, obviously. Recent studies have proven that there is a specific amount that you can spend on the ads for it to be optimal. Whenever I am spending $10 to get one sale, if I'm spending $5, if my budget of the campaign is $5 per day, that means that I'm supposed to have one sale every 2 days, because the ad is spending $5 and I need $10 for each sale, right? But that is not very optimal, because I'm really restricting the amount of sales the account is going to be doing, and so it's very restricted. But you also cannot just simply increase it to a maximum level and then it will simply keep scaling forever. There is a specific amount, and that amount is in between 5 to 15 times the total amount that you spend for the KPI, meaning the total amount you spend for the client doing a specific action. And this will be told you by Facebook Manager account. Each campaign will say exactly how much money you spent on it and how much you had to spend for having the client doing a specific action. So in case I'm optimizing for conversions, it will tell me how much I have to spend, how much I spent on this campaign to obtain a conversion. So just take that number and multiply it for 5 times. You cannot go lower than 2 times, because if you go lower than 2 times, it's really you're really restricting it, and it's not gonna be I mean, you can use X 2 times when you're trying to test it, to test a new interest. But if you see that the interest is making some sales, you will have to duplicate it and increase it to in between 5 and 15 times the total amount you're spending for receiving a client, because that is gonna give you more consistency with the ads. Then the last things you can change are the retargeting and the lookalikes. They are 2 separate things, they are different, even though they're somewhat similar. Now the lookalikes, basically, you already know, I already explained to you in the other video. The lookalikes are simply a specific audience that Facebook realizes they are similar to the people that already purchased from you, or that already had some engagement in your page, that already clicked on the link, for example, or that left a comment in your posts. So you should be doing this last, because the lookalikes really require a lot of data in order to be working well. And if you do not have enough data, you're simply wasting money when you're trying to scale to lookalike audiences. And that's what I tried to do, right? In the last episode I explained to you I was trying to scale to lookalike audiences. I tried, I failed, and I learned from it. So don't do the same mistake. You have to keep testing new campaigns, new audiences, new countries, new ad sets, new ad variations, until you receive 300 or 100 sales. I would say as soon as you reach 100 sales, then you can start creating the first lookalike audiences. And once you reach 100, you can start, and then you can scale it once you reach 300, for example. And the same thing goes for the retargeting. Retargeting means basically a lookalike audience of the people that already entered in your page. Since they already entered in your page, they're not a cold audience, because they already entered in your page and they were already interested in your product. So it's like a warm audience. You're retargeting the people that already went to your website or that were already interested in your product. What you should be doing next is keep following these strategies that I've told you on this video. Keep trying different audiences, try different tests. And when you see that these campaigns are running well, meaning the new interest is running well, you try different dimensions, right? You can try to combine them, and if you see that combined they are doing well, it means that you can take it and you can scale the budget, meaning you can increase the budget 5 to 15 times the total amount that you were using earlier. Now, what do I mean by combining the different ad sets? Well, that is very simple. When I'm, for example, targeting, I'm creating two campaigns. One that targets USA and one that targets the e-packet countries. Now, if I just make two campaigns with two ad sets and two ad creatives, I simply relying on like I have my eggs in two baskets, right? But if I create a new audience, because both the campaigns were on a single interest, I can simply decide, okay, I take these two campaigns, I duplicate them, but this time around I will use a different interest. Instead of relying on two ad sets, I'm relying on four, and I'm using a different audience for the new two that I created. And then you can repeat the process. If you see that some of them are working well, that are making some good results, then you can scale them and you can increase the budget. If they're not, try different angles. So you will try with different ad creatives, you will try with a different video, you will try with a different image, you will try with different photos. And so you simply take these four different ad creatives that have two different interests, and you simply duplicate them, and one they're going to be with one video and the other ones are going to be with the other video. So you will have 4 and 4, right? 8 in total. Then you can simply take these ones and you can duplicate them again, and in 8 of them you can have written something on them, and in the other 8 you can have a different text, a different description, a different link, okay? Then you take them, you duplicate them again, and you change the countries, or you change again the interest, the audiences. You can change different things, right? And so you can have many different copies, and you are basically not just relying on a single specific interest or single specific countries, but you're sort of trying them all. And this gives you a very good opportunity to decide which ones are actually performing better than the other, so that you can take the most performing one and just duplicate them and increase the budget if you see that they have like 4, 5 ROI or even higher. If they're not, just keep trying new things, right? And so this is what you actually have to do. You just have to try it. This is a trial and error business. And even when I find the winning ones, I will have to find similar interests, similar audiences to the winning ones. So I will keep scaling and scaling and scaling and trying to get it better and better and better. And you have to keep trying new angles until everything is gonna work out well. So I thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you appreciated my honesty and my experience, and that you learned something from it that you can use also on your ad account, on your own path towards success. So I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next episode, guys.